It's now time to talk about Cammy and Setty. These two have been some of the best players in the world over the past 2 years, let's call it. And they're still playing at an extremely high level. I think you ask anyone that watches competitive Fortnite, they know who these two are and how good they are because they've just been doing it so consistently for so long. So these guys clearly going to be a favorite heading into the FNCS. And one other cool thing that they've done is create this whole split drop, really popularized it. Back in the old map, these guys were able to split an area, and we see Setty's down here, Cammy's up here. But this is also the downside to this, is occasionally you will get snuck if teams VOD review, if they see what's going on. Look how far away these two are. So there's definitely disadvantages to the split drop. That's why Cammy and Setty land at the same spot now. This is also a really good spot to have a split drop from because of the balloon. It allows Setty to have a ton of movement if he needs. Nonetheless, Cammy's going to be able to get out of here, not really have any issue with it. Setty, on the other hand, no problems at all either. Gets back to his teammate. Then we have a team that's just going to sit on their head. Nothing comes of this. These guys easily get all the vault loot. So there's two teams. One of them could have came for Setty. One could have came for Cammy, and this could have been a big problem for them. But no problems so far. They were able to deal with it, and they've learned this, right? People have done certain things over the past, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years of them doing a split drop. So now they more understand how they need to play this to be a little safer. And I do expect people during the FNCS Invitational to VOD review these guys, especially if they're landing nearby, to see weaknesses and find opportunities to take some shots. So that's our off-spawn early game. Now we're going to see Setty's just going to jump around. He's the team scout. He's going to look for shots, look for snipes as well. And he's got plenty of loot. Cammy's just going to farm up. Setty was able to get most of the mats off the rip. And probably made sure Setty had all the mats. And then Cammy has time to farm. So Cammy's doing his own thing. He's wandering around. And Setty's just like the overseer, making sure, okay, I see everyone in this lobby at this point from this balloon, which is awesome. Like, vision, oversight for his teammate. Also can let people know, like, oh, you know, there's a team coming from this direction. All right, boom. You need to watch out for this team coming from this direction. Or even because of the balloon, say Cammy gets himself into trouble, which kind of happens right here. Setty can make some moves and focus on that and help his teammate out. So this team's going to come and base under them, and they're just going to be like, yo, we got this entire area to ourselves. We're chilling. We're just going to chill up here. I'm going to take some shots. And this is all just Storm Surge. This is on Europe, and it's probably one of the more difficult pieces of the game. So we see they're just constantly taking shots back and forth and looking at loadouts. Cammy, shotgun, hammer, launch pads. Setty, shotgun, hammer. No, shotgun Evochrome, and a sniper. I've started to see more usage of the Ranger recently. I do think Cammy has been watching, and there's a select number of players, not watching me, but watching other players and feeling what he's comfortable with. There's definitely a select number of players that have started picking up the Ranger shotgun, and I think there are definitely advantages to it. So we'll start to see that more. 70-30, 70% being the prime, 30 being the hammer, maybe 60-40. It could shift even more as things move, but definitely think more players are picking it up and making use of it. But we see these guys, even for as active as they are, only 100 above. And that's how difficult this is going to be. These guys are constantly looking for stuff, and Cammy knows they're down, they're having trouble. So he's just baiting these shots, pretty much just trading tags with these guys. And it's not really a winning situation for either team, especially Cammy, because they have a keg down below, so he's not going to out damage a keg, especially against two players. Nonetheless, he does get some damage. Setty's also looking for some damage as well. They're split off, trying to make sure they get some damage. And then this team, if I had to guess, they're down below on Surge. They are. So they're going to look to make a play. Setty and Cam are like, nah, bro. I'm not ready for this. But they're going to make a play to both get up. Both hit the balloon at the same time. And we see Cammy's not actually going to be able to use it. If there's someone in the cylinder, like down in this cylinder at all, while you're trying to hit it, it's not going to work. So make sure you know that. Don't screw yourself. We see Cammy just quickly gets on top of that little zip line piece and then gets up. Big shots there on the fly. And they're going to be able to get that knock. But this is also the hard part now. We see where zone is. They're trying to make it into a good piece of the third. Center's preferred. Like one of these two hills would be preferred. And they're up in the air. We saw what happened when another player tried to do it. Now these guys are trying to do it. And really not going to take too much damage. They'll take one tag. Quickly getting down, building, holding both sides. Really well played by them to get down, understand what's going on, and then be able to get in center third, which guarantees them fourth. And they are in fourth. Now just trying to get active once again for Surge. And one thing I've noticed about this team is they're always looking for like the further shots rather than the team right next to them. And the team right next to them is the last resort, right? They do not want to have to shoot at somebody that's right near them because that's how you get yourself in trouble. And we see just good awareness, knowing teams are coming in. They're going to have to hit a launch pad. Poor Flixie going down there. And now these guys have done their work for Storm Surge. Not for the rest of the game, but at least for the immediate time being. Fit zone pulls, and if you guys have watched any of these VODs, you know, go early. That's exactly what these guys do. Get above this team, build themselves a nice big box in metal, and then again, we're on Storm Surge duty. At the highest level, Storm Surge is a constant. Unless you have like 12 elims, you always got to worry about it. It's just one of those pieces of Fortnite. And a lot of these top teams have figured it out. Bravino. Going down. That's probably the end of the game for Queasy too. No, I didn't see Queasy go down. So he's able to make that rotate, but can't be getting sniped there if you're Vino. Nice shot there by Setty. Good teamwork by these two to recognize that. They look around and they're like, yo, bro. There's no one on height. There's no one even close. You want to play height? Yeah, let's go up. We got it. They're normally a mid to low ground team, but normally doesn't mean they cannot play height. These guys 100% can play high ground, can do it successfully, and they're going to get first moving here. And I love to see the versatility in them. When you're gifted high ground, you got to play it, right? Just go for it. And we can see they're in a good position to play height. They have the two pads so they can save a lot of mats. And we see the Ranger being used here. That is the best use for it. I know he's holding the hammer out, but he just shot with the Ranger. For me, the Ranger shotgun is best on high ground to punish players in the air, to punish players at a distance. And that's just so effective for them to be able to use that. Big shots again. And Cammy showing off why it's so good on high ground. Thank you for that, Cammy. Allowing us to see pretty much right away after I say it. So they're not going to use a launch pad, just going to build across. Interesting move. I don't think it's necessarily the right or the wrong one. Both of them could have worked, but this one definitely is working as well. And they're going up so high. But this is because of all the pads. They just want to guarantee themselves to stay on this high ground. They know they're going to look to pad at some point. Setty's been passed over the pads. And they're already starting to get pressured. They're going to throw a pad down. And it's no longer their high ground. Right now, it's whoever lands first and establishes it. If you're highest, typically you're going to be good. But it looks like Anas and Pink are looking to make a play. We also have Frey looking to make a play. Who's that? Fast Strokey with Frey. I can't read that name. The letters are too small. But they give it up smartly. You see like 3 teams going for it, and now there's another player. Okay, yeah, just give that up. Way too many players trying to go for high ground. Smart by these guys just to be like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. We'll play on this mid ground. We've been playing this basically our entire careers. Cammy looking to make a play here. Looks like Setty wasn't able to recognize that, because that's normally a play where these two box somebody on their wall. Rarely, if ever, are they going to miss that. Cammy was just a little too far away. So we see a little low pad. Nice play to save some materials here. We still have a couple splashes, so you can tank some storm. And look at that. Right on top of each other once again. The consistency by these two. So clean. Big shots. And it's less important in duos, but back in the trio days, Setty was one of the best harpers in the world. Probably still is. It's just, again, less important as a duo. And we see these guys just continue to flow through, run a little bit, claim some space, and a lot of teams establish this, what I'll call a kill box, to give themselves a decent position to play out of. It's not necessarily just like one box that you're playing out of, but you kind of just build a little bit bigger so you have some space. Cammy gets an Elam here. Nice. Get themselves down on low ground here, and now they're just looking to hold this. Bro's about to get bopped. Get out me lobby, dog. Cammy follows up on that one. And, you know, they're just running low, but the important thing is these two play this together. Setty's always looking to claim the space. And they're just very aware of how these end games work. This is typical of this team playing endgame, and they've just claimed low ground. So not only building big, it gives you more space to play out of, but also makes you appear bigger, like you have more mats when they really don't, and pushes players away from playing low ground with you. So these guys have been able to make plays pretty consistently throughout this game, but now it's time where they need one. See Cammy get some shots there. Oh, gifted loot. Love that. When loot falls on your head, you can't beat it. And now they're fighting Trulex and Chicho for this low ground here. Someone needs to win this. They're going to push them off. Setty uses the last of his mats. Cammy has to dive in storm. And this is just a shambles fight. Setty's going to go down here. Cammy's all by himself. Going to get that one cleaned up. Not going to be able to get back for that loot, though. And somehow he's not getting seen. Oh, another shot right there. Boom. Doesn't look like Chicho had any extra mats. So that's a 15 builds. Little refresh there. And Cammy's just clutching up. My man just knows what he's doing. Boom. Give me that. Now it's a final two. Oh, it's a 1v1. He's got a shot here. Doesn't get the mats from Trulex, so he's not really able to do anything. Holds the high ground for a second, but ultimately it's going to come down to who hits the next shot. And either way, this is such a great game from them. Playing so consistently, showing us that ability to play high ground, mid ground, claim low, and then make that claim. What I would like them to clean that up a little more or get a refresh while they had the space. But I think it's also difficult because if we look at where zone pulled, they went down the mountain. Right? They went down the mountain here. So everyone's staying on this mid-ground level and they're all the way down low. Smart play to grab low there, but either way, made it a little difficult why they weren't able to get a refresh. Thanks for watching. This is only number 1 for the day. See you in the next one. Peace.